Question right here.
What was the first book you ever made?
The first book I ever wrote, oh, actually, good question. The first book I ever had published was this one, The Mystery of the Frozen Brains. Now, here's something interesting. What I'm holding up is actually one of the very early versions of the book. This is the latest version of the book. So even though this was published, publishers still made changes. And what happened was when this book came out, they came up with this cover, which was, it was okay. It wasn't great. Well, I'll be honest, it was really boring, right? And when the publisher showed me this cover, it was my first book being published, and I was like, I don't want to make any trouble. I don't like the cover, but I don't want to make any trouble. So I said, oh, it's fine. So they put the book out, and it turned out that people really liked this story, but they couldn't get past the cover of the book. And the publisher was told over and over again, this cover doesn't work for this book. And so, to the credit of the publisher, they decided to change the cover, and they hired an illustrator, and this became the new cover of The Mystery of the Frozen Brains. Now, which book would you want to pick up if you saw this sitting on a bookshelf? Do you want to pick this one? Or would you want to pick this one? Right? So, there's my first book. It actually took me 2 years to write this book. I had to revise it about 8 times to get it ready, but it was like the coolest feeling in the world when it was published. Okay, yes?
How old were you when you wrote the first book?
When I started writing, I think I was probably grade 11. I had all these crazy ideas, but I never had the courage to write them down. But one day, my English teacher, Mr. Nigro, gave us a homework assignment. He said, imagine if you won $1 million, how would you redecorate your bedroom? At the time, I was a really lazy teenager, so my idea of a dream bedroom was to have a bed I never had to get out of to do all the things I wanted to do. So I put my bed on an elevator. Top level is where I slept. I pushed a button, and the bed would lower to a level that had a library with all the books I wanted to read. Next level had a big screen TV and all the movies I wanted to watch. Next level had a video game arcade. Final level had a kitchen and a bathroom. I handed in my assignment, and my English teacher handed it back to me a few days later. And he said, Marty, you have a great imagination. You should write more of your story ideas down. And so I started writing after that. So grade 11 would have been my very first story. Okay, yes? Thank you for sharing. Okay. How long? Now I'm a little faster. It now only takes me about 4 months to write the first draft, and then I spend another probably 2 to 4 months revising. And revising, I could be changing it anywhere from 3 times to about 6 times to get it ready. Okay? Yeah?
Do you actually like cats? Because there are cats on the
Oh,
book,
the
and
cats.
there's a picture, you're holding 2 cats.
Yeah, I do love cats. This picture book, it's called True Story. It's actually based on my 2 real-life cats. Their names are Buddy and Max. Yeah, that's Max on my shoulder. If you look at your...
We have black and white cats and some, and they look like all together.
They look like they're squished together?
An omelet.
Like an omelet?
No, we have a black and white cat named Omelet.
Oh, omelet. Okay.
And according to the picture where you're holding the 2 cats, if we put them together, we'd actually get a cat that looks like ours.
Oh, no way. Oh, cool. Now, do you guys want to hear about the real-life cats in this book? All right. So, my real-life cats are named Buddy and Max, and they sort of look like the cover on this, the cats on the cover of this book. The only difference is Max has like an all-black face. He's got a little bit of white fur right about here. But the strange thing about him is that he has a tongue that's too long for his mouth. So every time he's sleeping, it looks like he's sticking his tongue out at me. Right? He'll be sleeping and I'll be like... right? And I keep wanting to push that tongue back inside his mouth, but every time I do that, he bites me, so not a good idea. Now Max has a really bad habit. He likes to steal things, and the things he likes to steal more than anything else in the world are my pens. And so far, he has stolen about 39 of my pens. I've looked all over the house, I can't find them anywhere. Now it's bad enough that he steals and hides my pens. What makes it worse is he likes to tease me about it. So what he does is he waits until late at night after I've gone to bed, then he goes to a secret hiding place, pulls out one of my stolen pens, brings it into my bedroom, drops it on the hardwood floor beside my bed, and bats it back and forth until I wake up, right? So I'll be sleeping and I'll hear this ka-thump, 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 and I'll pop an eye open, but what's that? Ka-thump, 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 meow meow, ka-thump, ka-thump, ka-thump. I'm like, ah, that's my pen, I gotta get it, right? And I try to roll out of bed, but as soon as I move, Max will grab the pen in his jaws and run down the hall. So that's Max. His brother, Buddy, is like the exact opposite. Max is skinny, he's quiet, he's really sneaky. Well, Buddy's this big, loud, clumsy cat, right? He's got a super round balloon head, he's got these two big round eyes, and he's got this sort of white stripe of fur between his eyes, and the white stripe of fur acts like a magnet that pulls his eyeballs together. So every time you look at Buddy, he always looks like he's cross-eyed, right? You walk into a room and Buddy will look up at you and he'll be like, meow, meow, meow. Now, I think because he's cross-eyed, that's what makes him so clumsy. If I took this pen and I put it on that table, Max could hop up on the table, grab the pen, hop off the other side, you'd barely notice him. If Buddy tried to do the same thing, he'd take a running start at the table, hop up, skid across the top, fly off the other side, flip upside down, land on his big balloon head, right? So, clumsy cat. Now, the other thing you need to know about Buddy, and this part's very serious, he's sick. He's got a disease.
Buddy?
And his disease is so serious that if my wife and I knew that he had this disease when we first saw him at the pound, we're not even sure if we would have brought him home. And the only nice way I can describe Buddy's disease is Buddy is a stress farter. So if you don't know what that means, it means when he gets too nervous or too scared or too stressed out, he farts. But here's the problem. My wife and I did not know that cats could do this. So the first time we brought Buddy into the house, we kept smelling this awful smell. And I kept thinking it was my wife who was making the smell. And then I figured out it was Buddy because he was all nervous in the corner. I went over, I picked him up, I brought him to the couch, I put him on my lap, started petting him to calm him down. I was like, relax, Buddy. This is your new home, nothing to worry about. You're safe here. And then this smell of rotten eggs punches up my nose. And I look down at Buddy and he looks up at me with his big round crossed eyes and he's like, meow. I was like, oh Buddy, you stink! And I pushed him off my lap and I started yelling at him at the top of my lungs. I was like, how could you make that awful smell? Oh man, you reek! And of course when I yelled at Buddy, he got all scared again, right? Yes. So here's what happened a little while ago. A little while ago I got smart about my pens and Max, and what I did was I took all the remaining pens I had and I put them all into my backpack. And I zipped up my backpack nice and tight so that Max could not steal any more of my pens. But Max was still a thief, and he decided that if he couldn't steal my pens, the next thing he would try to steal was Buddy's tail. So all night long, Max is hunting Buddy. And I'm in my bed and I'm trying to sleep and all I can hear are my cats moving around the house, right? First of all, Buddy's all happy. He's all like, meow, 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 meow. And then Max sneaks up behind him, right? Do, 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 do. And Buddy's like, meow, meow, meow. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Meow! And Buddy gets all nervous, all scared, all stressed out, and he looks for a safe place to hide from his little brother. And he decides that the safest place in the entire house is in my bedroom, on my bed, under my blanket, on my face. So that became the starting point for the picture. Would you guys like to see a couple of pictures from this?
Yeah! I want to see the part when he was on your face.
Okay, so here we go. This is Max. I didn't draw the pictures here. They were drawn by a very talented illustrator out of Alberta named Lorna Bennett. And this is her idea of what Max looks like. Okay?
Who's the girl in the background?
That's supposed to be a little baby sister, a nice little innocent baby sister. Okay? This is what Lorna thought Buddy looked like. And Buddy is the smelly cat. You can tell because the little boy is wearing a gas mask. Alright? So raise your hand if you want to see Buddy when he's a little scared. Okay, so this is what Buddy looks like when he's a little bit scared. Okay. Now if you want to see Buddy when he's really scared, plug your nose. Okay? On the count of 3, give me a hand here, yellow, Buddy, you read. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Buddy, you read.
Okay. So there is a little bit of the illustrations from the book. Now, what's interesting?
Can we see the part when he's hunting you?
When he's hunting me?
Hunting the tail.
So this is what happened. This is Lorna's idea. So originally I thought they were just going to wrestle with each other, but she decided that the tail would do this. So there's Buddy's tail, and it's turning into a crocodile. Okay, so now Max is going to wrestle the crocodile.
Wow.
Okay. Now you guys remember all my stolen pens, right? So this is a cool thing that illustrators can do. What she did was she loved the story about my hidden pens, so what she did was she actually found a couple of pages in the book, and she drew a couple of pens to give the reader a sense of where the pens might have been hidden. So if you look at this book closely, you might find some hidden pens on a couple of the pages in the book. So this brings me to the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed the stories. I hope you guys get a chance to read some of the books. You didn't get a bookmark? All right, so I hope you enjoyed the presentations. I hope you guys have a wonderful day off. And I wish you all the best with Reading Link Challenge. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a winner in one of these people here. Okay, so thanks very much, everybody. Okay, so if you want an autograph, I'm going to come over here. IAN.